it's trial and error for me with the hair clippers. Every time I cut my own hair, it's the day I don't look forward to. So one fall swoop and it's a buzz cut for me for the summer. So it's a lot of hard work, a lot of concentration. It takes me significantly longer than my old barber. So slow and steady.
Man, and that's saying something. So hey, speaking of Coach, able to watch you a lot, whether it's on a practice pitch, if you're middle of a match, you always bring emotion. No matter what, you're always out there. You've got a lot of energy. You're yelling, you're coaching, you're constantly teaching. How do you get to the point where you never have a day off, where you're always just bringing the juice?
Yeah, I think the players would prefer a couple of days off for me. But no, I think it's one that when you love something, right? Passion is something that people say all the time. I'm so blessed to work with this incredible staff, with these players, with this group, and so it's a joy every day. And I think it's something that it's passionate about. It's a game that I've grown up with since I was very, very young, and it's something that I love. So it's great to be a part of it. When you wake up every day, you love what you do, and love where you work. And this is something that is no different. So it's one that, like I said, when you're blessed to be in the position I'm in, where you love who you work with, who you're trying to help, it really is easy. So.
You speak about how you grew up with the game. You were quite the player yourself, getting up to the MLS, the highest level of American soccer, playing against some of international greats, not just people that Americans know, people all over the country know. What were you able to take from your playing career that has kind of transpired and that you've used in your coaching career now?
Yeah, I was blessed, a kid from Rhode Island, and got a chance to play against David Beckham, Landon Donovan, Thierry Henry, Robbie Keane. I mean, there's so many, that are out there that were greats. And to this day, I still got a ton of good friends. Benny Feilhaber, who was national team regular, one that scored a big time goal against Mexico back in the day. So I've just learned, what it takes to be a pro, what it takes to be successful. And I think the biggest difference is every single player is good. At that level, it's what do you do to separate to be great, and it's so small, that margin. So, I was blessed. I take a lot. I had some unbelievable coaches along the way that, were super passionate and very knowledgeable. So constantly asking questions, constantly being a student of the game, and then leaning on some of those older players as mentors.
So I want to ask you this question. It might get you in trouble, so be ready.
That's all right.
What player on the team right now reminds you the most of you as a player?
Oh, gosh. I mean, wow. I joke all the time. People say, why didn't you, were you interested in going into the male side? And I said, well, 100 of me's, because I knew I was probably pretty tough to coach. But I think for that is players that are attack minded, that want to go 1v1. We've got a lot of those players that, want the ball, but also, I think it's one that there's an expectation where when we don't have immediate success, we get frustrated. And I think that's something that's good. You want to keep pushing, you want to keep driving forward. So I think we've got a number of players better than me, than I was, is definitely, and very, very team first minded. So very, very blessed.
You spoke about attack-minded players. You are also our recruiting coordinator. When you're out there on the field in a non-pandemic, or right now in a dead period that we're in, two-part question. One, how has the recruiting landscape changed for you, and maybe what your role is as a recruiting coordinator? And two, what are you looking for in a recruit?
Two good questions. I think the biggest thing here is we talk about culture and we talk about family. That's the most important thing is the character of the individual, right? I think that's something that as coaches, our job is to teach them soccer, is to teach them to how to, be prepared for life after soccer. So this COVID, you do a lot of talking to them, right? You do a lot of interactions. You don't really necessarily see as much live. So you get to know them as a person. And it's the core values that we embody here, the identity that we want to be known for. It's allowed us to really, really probably talk to them even more as an individual, as a person. Take soccer out of it, just what are they doing in their everyday lives? You know, are they a brother? Are they a sister? Are they a single, you know, are they an only child? What does it look like for them? And then why is this place special to them? And I think that's something that has changed because you can't go and recruit, right? A lot of it becomes soccer, 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 and you kind of lose sight of the person. This is kind of the opposite. This is more get to know them, get to know them, get to know them. And then the soccer part is obviously the Brucey bonus, as Coach James says. So I think it's big for us. We as a staff do a great job of communicating with players, but this is a special place. You know, we've had opportunities to do Zoom calls where you show just how special it is, but you get a lot more time to learn about them as individuals.
You know, you spoke about family. I talked with Coach Armstrong a little bit earlier in the podcast about community. I know you two are active members, playing golf a lot. It seems like we're good friends outside of the department. You guys have a lot of friends who aren't necessarily in our Hail State athletics bubble.
Yep.
How have you been able to grow that? And how do you keep your friends when you're beating them so much on the golf course sometimes?
Listen, first off, you're trying to get me in trouble twice. Okay. Administration, I promise you, it's not, as he says, as often as we do. It's not that often. And then second, I mean, listen, I've been beaten plenty of times. So Chris is trying to get me in trouble with everyone that's listening. So I'm fortunate just to make contact at this point. So the community, though, is unbelievable. And I think that's something that I say it to recruits all the time, and I truly mean it, is we have some of the best fans in the country, but we also have an unbelievable support system, starting with administration, and then kind of transitioning into the community. We've got so many individuals that, like Coach James said earlier, that come out to support us and really just come in numbers. I think the exciting part is this group is doing something special, that what the future holds is very, very exciting. And so it's one that we are very, very thankful to the support that we have. I feel like every week we keep adding new fans, and, you know, we thank everyone. We can't thank you enough, because it's you guys that are the ones that help this program keep moving forward and keep it as exciting as it is.
Fans, don't let them fool you. Me and Nick were able to play golf once over this pandemic, and he still has to use a heating pad on his back from carrying me that whole day. So it's much.
This was unbelievable with the music, though. I mean, every player on the team has a role, and Chris found his. So
boombox and hit 2 putts out of 18 holes. So hey, I'm staying in my lane.
That's 2 less putts that we had to make someone else. So
yeah, true. Hey, you mentioned Rhode Island, as you know, fellow Rhode Islander here. The only 2 probably in this state, maybe a handful more.
Yeah.
What does Mississippi and what does Starkville in general bring? I know you've talked about family and the community. What kind of food do you get here? I know you get down on the grill a little bit. I know you got some nice grill game. What can we eat here, or what do you make here that people back at home have no idea about?
Well, I mean, again, this is another one where I'm just trying not to blow up, you know, my house and things like that. But I can't give names, obviously, but there's a number of different establishments here in town that have incredible food, right? Whether it be you go and pick it up and then you cook it on your own, or you go and you can eat there. So it's that Southern food. It's that Southern barbecue. It's the Mexican. It's the beef. It's the chicken. I mean, there's so many different places here that I was just speaking to a recruit yesterday, and her father, and they came down and they said they couldn't get over the food. I mean, the dad was like, I felt like I gained 10 pounds here. So, you know, we've got a big array of food, whether it be food trucks, whether it be institutions that have been here since the institution, really. So it's been awesome. You know, I got a griddle about a year and a half ago, and I'm getting better. I feel like we're getting a little bit more confident, baby steps. So yeah.
Awesome, Coach. Well, Coach, I always appreciate your time as always. You got any final words to say before we wrap this thing up?
No, listen, everybody, obviously, we're thoughts and prayers for everyone involved with the weather over the last 24 hours. You know, we were very fortunate and blessed here for just kind of some minor, I think, you know, Starkville being, you know, where I lived, I know some minor damages, a couple trees here and there, but everyone stay safe. Our prayers are with you always. We have a game this weekend. We'd love for you to come out. It'll be a little bit cooler out, sunny day. The girls love your support. We appreciate it, and look forward to seeing everyone in the community and moving forward. So Hail State.
Excited to watch you compete this weekend, Coach. Hail State.
Hail State.